The way we produce power, the way we transmit and distribute power hasn't changed in 100 years.
So we're experimenting here in an urban setting. One of the things that we can explore here in the microgrid is the way that a community can structure itself around energy supporting each other. Factory farms do their job, but local farms exist for a reason as well. Well, I like to think about this is my local energy farm.
Hurricane Sandy killed 43 people and in New York City left thousands homeless and 1 million people without power.
When Sandy happened, the gas station didn't have power. The stores didn't have power. The hospital was on generators. It was a bad scene.
It knocked out significant sections of the utility grid. People didn't have an opportunity to charge cell phones. Communications is really important. People want to know, is my family safe?
But we need more than just the grid. We need to explore the possibility of locally produced energy.
So here under the ground in Brooklyn has wires buried that are feeding electricity to all the buildings that you see. So what a microgrid is taking that big macro grid, putting switches in places where you can separate from the larger grid and create a smaller grid. So when you turn the switch, that smaller microgrid can separate from the larger utility grid and run on its own.
Solar panels made of silicon wafers, and these ones are sun power panels. They have 72 cells in there. Then each one of those solar modules is connected to one another, and that goes down to an inverter in the basement.
And it changes the direct current to alternating current. Power comes over from the inverter to my circuit, which is 2/3 of the house. And then here's the meter that goes both directions. But in addition to that kind of meter, we also have the meter for the Brooklyn microgrid.
If you're producing more, like on a nice sunny day like this, you're probably producing more electricity than you're consuming, and the inverter is pushing electricity back into the grid. In the evening, when you're not making any solar, then the flow is the other way and you're taking electricity in from the grid, you're consuming it.
So what's going to happen here now is I'm going to look at my electric bill for the month and look at my energy usage. And I'm going to match up my usage with his availability of solar credits coming from his house. So I've just bought 159 kilowatt hours at 7 cents, which amounts to $11.13.
What's happening in the background is that when you push that buy credits, you're actually injecting information onto the blockchain. Blockchain technology itself is really a distributed ledger. It's a database. They're a really efficient accounting system. So basically what it does is it makes it very efficient for you to transact things.
This neighborhood has a very strong sense of community, and one of the things the microgrid allows us to do is to support community institutions. So here's $11
Yay.
and 13 cents.
So what happened today is we were able to receive some money from Eric, who sold his green energy to Bob, and we were the recipients, $11.13, and that will actually equal 6 meals that we'll be giving out.
So one benefit that blockchain and microgrids is going to provide is it's actually going to give people the ability to recognize the local value of energy.
Currently we have 100,000 square feet of manufacturing space. 75% of our roof is covered in solar panels, which is one of the largest privately owned solar arrays in Gowanus, Brooklyn. We find it's very important community to have the ability for resiliency after Sandy, a natural disaster or something like that. The microgrid would help us get back on our feet, or other people back on their feet, almost like a backup generator for the neighborhood.
So there's been a lot of talk about how distributed energy could be the new Uber, Airbnb model of the future for electricity. That's a whole new set of economic impacts that aren't possible without blockchain technology.